Alright, I made some interesting wheels for my RC planes. Always wanted something lightweight, and I always tend to look at one thing and see something else. So I made these wheels out of the bottoms of soda cans.
Oops.
See how that's made.
Yep, gotcha.
So, how do you do this? A couple of things. First is, before you start, you're going to have to work on your axle, or your hub, I guess is the proper term. There are a couple ways to do this. I found a good way to do this. You can get a pop-rivet. Find a pop-rivet that matches the size of your landing gear. Close enough, a little bigger. And then you can use a pair of pliers, grip this, push that down, and remove this little collar. Save that collar. We're going to use that collar for the hub inside here, and it's actually going to be nicer looking than even that one. But the big question, how do you cut a can properly? How do you do this so you can actually make this happen? Not as hard as you think. You just need to make a couple little tools. It's a little jig, a few pieces of wood glued together. Put my knife on there. Basically, I can cut two cans and be at exactly the same size or height. Just going to cut like this. Basically, you're just scoring it a couple times. Getting a view of this?
Yes.
Alright, just go around a couple times like this. 2-3 times. Score it around. The key here, you're not really cutting through the can at this point. We're scoring it. I found if I tried to push too hard, it got wavy, I got weird cuts, it didn't work. We're just going to score this, like I said, probably no more than 3 times around the can. Then we're going to do this. This is the tricky part. You got a view on this?
Yes.
Alright, take that tip right here, and just where you scored, we're going to give it a little cut right there. Watch this. Come on. See what's happening? Clean, clean cut. Doesn't matter. Got a little wonky on me there. No big deal. Come back on the other side. Come back that way. Even that one's a bit wonky. No big deal. You got your knife. You go back. Just get the tiniest little score right here. And you're back to peeling that back. Okay. I have another can here that I've already cut. Oh, got wonky. We'll go to the other side. And do the same thing here. Cut along that score line. Now I got 2 hubs. I usually take one side, take anything, piece of metal, spread this out this way a little bit, flare it out. I'll take this side, I'll roll it like this a bit.
Oh, flare it in, sort of.
Get that flared in a little bit. I don't think flare is the right word for that.
Right.
It's a different word, I'm sure. But
Turned or whatever.
yeah. And then in the past, I'm not 100% sure it's necessary, but in the past, I've put in a little piece of flat plywood, maybe 1.5 millimeters thick. Certainly don't need much more than 1/8 of an inch. This material is really soft. I worry about that flaring or spreading out. But I think with this rivet that we're going to use, it might not be as much
Hold
of
it
an
real
issue.
still. I want to get a good close-up of that rivet. There you go. There you go. Very good. Got it.
You work this in, take your time. It's always a little frustrating. You ever put a bicycle tire on a bicycle rim as a kid, you know how this is. Almost. Almost. Obviously I didn't put that little piece of wood in here. I always put a little dab of epoxy on either side of that. Keep that in place. Then we'll measure a drill. Appropriate drill bit for this. Drill out the center. Measure the center. Don't assume you can put a marble in there and it will find the center. It doesn't work, I know. But after that, after it's all glued, get yourself a piece of inner tube. This doesn't look like it was going to fit, but it did. Cut that approximately 1 inch wide, depending on how wide you made your tire, or narrow. You can cut that so it can actually, the rubber will go right down to the rim here, as that one is. And it looks good.
All right.
I'd love to see somebody approve this and post it so we can all learn.
Give that
Thanks.
wheel, give that wheel a spin. All right.